Are you depriving yourself of the exact things that you need to succeed, achieve your goals, and enjoy life? Well, maybe. That's what we're going to explore in today's episode because there are three simple things that just about all of us need, at least at some point in time, and many of us need them right now. Let's find out what they are in today's episode. This is the Enjoy Life podcast. If you feel overwhelmed or stuck and you want to break free so that you can find your power to take action to achieve your goals and enjoy life, then you're in the right place. Welcome, my friend. I am glad that you're here. My name is Nick Mazie, and it's my desire to be your guide through this material so that you can choose your mindset, goals, and actions so you can guide your life to go in the direction that you want to go and enjoy it. Now let's dive right in. Hello and welcome to episode 159 of Enjoy Life. Glad that you're here as always. I hope this year's going well for you. We were already a month into it, and hopefully you're able to just take some of those small steps to take a little bit of the power that you have, because you have the power to choose to take steps towards your goals. You know, hopefully you're taking advantage of that and just taking some small steps. But if this year's it didn't just start off with a bang exactly how you want, then that's okay. That's okay. I'm of the mindset that if you're taking steps, if you're trying, that's a whole lot better than if you're not trying to do anything. So as long as you're trying to put forth a little bit of effort, that's a great thing. And actually, that's a part of what we're going to talk about today, because it leads right into three things that I think most of us need. Well, some of us need it all the time, like myself. But most of us need it right now, or at least at some point in time, you're going to need some of these three things. But real quick, before we actually dive all the way into the episode, just a quick reminder. As always, you can get more information and material at nickmazie.com. In fact, for this episode, if you want to go to nickmazie.com, you can search for 159, and that way it'll pull up the little show notes that I have for this episode, as well as some links for resources and more material and all that stuff. And you can do that with any of the podcast episodes. You just go to nickmazie.com, type in the number, the episode number, and that's what I start with all the posts for the podcast. That way you'll be able to find it right there if you want to look up the show notes or any resources that I mentioned. And also, if you're listening to it on a podcast app, then any links and helpful resources should also be in the show notes on that podcast app. All right, so on to today's episode. We're talking about the three simple things that most of us need right now. The first one is a lot of us, this might be you, I know it's me sometimes, I know quite often, but we might need to give ourselves a little break. Just a little break. When we're talking about, feeling stuck and overwhelmed and all that stuff, a lot of times the natural tendency is just to try harder or just put forth a little bit more effort, which is good. Being persistent and trying hard, that is good stuff. Don't give up on that. But sometimes we need a little bit of a break. And this is helpful for like the mindset, and a little bit of the well-being. So we got to take care of our well-being. If you want to make any sort of progress or to enjoy life at all, you got to care for your well-being. And taking a quick little short break can be a huge way to do that. But now the power of the break is by being intentional with it. So if you're, feeling stuck and overwhelmed, then it might feel like, well, I'm not making progress, I'm not doing something. Or if you're struggling to take action, then it's like, well, I'm not doing any work, so why do I need a break? The break is when it's intentional, when you're not taking action and you're just taking a few minutes to breathe, rest in that moment, kind of do a little bit of a reset in that moment, and it's not wasting time because you're being intentional with it, and that's what's helping your mindset, your well-being to kind of recharge and to take a breath, so that it can feel a little bit better, so it can get a little bit more energy. A great way to do this, or at least I think so, because this is the way that I do it, is I set a little 2-minute timer, and I got that on my watch that I use, and I set a 2-minute timer, and I just take a few deep breaths and just really breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And sometimes I'll count my breaths, like in through the nose 1, out through the mouth 2, all the way up to 10, and then I start back over at 1. It's so powerful because it's just calming to the mind, and it allows that body to reset a little bit. It helps that cortisol level to drop when you do that really slow exhale. See, it releases a lot of CO2 on that exhale. It helps that heart rate to drop a little bit. It can help reduce that stress in your body. It can be relaxing. This is a little bit of a mindfulness technique or practice, but you don't have to make it something a lot bigger than it is. Just giving yourself a break, taking time to breathe for just a few minutes or moments, and just, resting, relaxing, resetting, and then you can get back up and get to doing what you're doing. But being intentional with this break is huge. I love doing them throughout the day, and that way all the stress and pressure and frustration, see, they don't really build up because I'm taking time to reset. So maybe one of the things you need this year, today, is to take a break. Maybe not a massive break, but at least a short break. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's all it is. All right. So that's the first thing. The first thing that many of us need is to give ourselves a little bit of a break. And then it's a little bit related to giving yourself a break. But the next thing that a lot of us need, I know I got to do this for myself often, is to give ourselves a little bit of grace. Just a little bit of grace. See, you're not perfect. Okay. I know you know that. No one is. No one's perfect. I'm far, far, far from it. So we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace. Don't put the kind of pressure on yourself. That's just too much. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Give yourself a little bit of credit too. The part of giving yourself a grace is not just kind of saying give yourself a little bit of grace for not doing a million things or achieving every single goal that you have, and all that. Giving yourself a little bit of grace is also giving yourself credit for the effort that you're putting in. If you're trying to make improvements, adjustments, changes to better yourself in any sort of way, and I've got to say, you're listening to this podcast, so I think you should already get credit for at least being open to trying. But if you're trying in any sort of way to improve your life, make some changes, or anything like that, give yourself some credit. You deserve some credit. That all goes into this giving yourself some grace. Like you're trying. That's cool. That's awesome. That's amazing. Give yourself some credit for that. Okay? So if you're like many of us, you need to give yourself a little bit of a break. You can do a little quick reset, take a short break. Give yourself some grace. And then after you've done those two things, make sure you do those two things first. After you've done those two things, then some of us need to give ourselves a little kick in the pants. This is where, back to the putting forth some effort comes in. Because you know what? Now listen in, listen into this one. You are capable. You are capable. You can make progress. You can achieve your goals. You can enjoy life. You can make the most of it. You can do amazing things. I know it. I know you can. Period. That's it. I do mic drop, but I like this mic. It's lasted me for a lot of years, so I'm not going to drop it or anything like that. Plus, you want to be able to see it. I lose a lot of effect. Anywho, period. You can make progress. You can achieve goals. You can make the most of where you're at so that you can enjoy your life. You are capable. Now, right in line with giving yourself some grace and taking a break is this key part to giving yourself a kick in the pants, to give yourself a boost going forward, is one small thing at a time. A lot of times the overwhelm and feeling stuck comes from not doing things because we can't do everything. Well, you can't do everything. You certainly can't do everything today or right now. What you can do is you can do one small thing at a time, and that's the kick in the pants that I want you to give yourself, is just to do that one thing, whatever it is. You give yourself a break, help your mindset reset. You get a little bit of the mindfulness, a little bit of calming. Give yourself some grace because you're not perfect. Give yourself a little bit of credit. Part of that grace is giving yourself a little bit of credit for trying. And then give yourself a kick in the pants and saying, I'm going to do this one next small thing. Because small steps count. They really do. So give yourself a break, give yourself some grace, and then give yourself a kick in the pants. Now, a great way, or in my opinion, a great way to apply this is just by building in the simple habits that give you what you need. Just building in simple habits that give you what you need. we constantly hear all these messages about stuff that we need. I mean, we need to buy this or buy that so that we can have what we need, so we can feel fulfilled, so we can be happy, blah, 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 blah. Most of the things that we really need, for our being and who we are, and I think, are things that we can give ourselves. See, no marketing message is ever going to tell you that because they want you to spend their money. So we get all these messages saying all this other stuff that we need, when really we can give ourselves a lot of what you can give yourself, a lot of what you need. Stressed out, overwhelmed, it's not a pill that you need to take or some very elaborate, expensive vacation. Maybe you just need to give yourself a little bit of a break. Do the little breathing exercise. And I say little because it doesn't have to be huge. The impact and the effects of it can be huge, especially when you do it on a regular basis or throughout your day. Just taking that short break to give yourself a reset, man, it helps things from piling up, and it keeps you on track and going forward and feeling good, a good mindset. So maybe it's just the small, frequent breaks, a little breathing exercise, a little mindfulness that would help. Or maybe if you're feeling the overwhelm, give yourself a little bit of grace. Give yourself credit because you're trying. Know that you're not perfect, but you're sure going to be a whole lot better off because you're trying and you're giving your best effort than if you weren't. And that's awesome. You can build some of these simple habits. Give yourself a break, a little bit of grace, a little kick in the pants. You can build them into a morning routine. How you start your day is huge. And a simple morning routine that fits you, that works for you, is a great way to give yourself the things that you need. And once you've already done it in the morning, then it's kind of easier to kind of check back in on these throughout the day just to help keep you feeling good and on the right track moving forward. See, people often delay taking a single step because they can't take 100 right then. Listen to that again. People often delay taking a single step because they can't take 100 right then. You can't do everything, but you can do one small thing at a time. You can do one small thing, whether it's giving yourself a break, a little bit of grace, or kicking the pants. You can do one thing right now. So do simple things that are going to give you what you need for you. Do the simple things. They can be small things. One small thing on a regular basis, before you know it, you'll have done great things. All you have to do is keep at it. Keep trying. If you get off track, don't worry about it. You got off track one step at a time. You get back on track one step at a time. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. As always, go to nickmazy.com for more material and resources. If you want the show notes for this episode, you search for 159 or search for any episode number for any of the episodes. And also, the Goal Killer Solution Quiz is still up. It's still up. You can go to nickmazy.com/GKSQ. And what that is, it's just a simple quiz where you answer a few things related to what might be holding you back. And then I have a personalized, based on your answers, a personalized response of a simple thing that you can do to start to move forward again, just to get unstuck, make some progress towards your goals and what you want for your life. You will not want to miss next week's episode because we're going to talk about how to supercharge your efforts. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to really add a lot of power and punch to the steps that you take so that you can move forward to the life that you want, live it to its fullest, make it the best that it can be, and enjoy it. Best way to not miss next week's episode is to go ahead and subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss that or any of the future episodes. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Can't wait to talk to you again next week. Take care. If you want to achieve your goals, enjoy life, have fun, and have the energy to do it, then you have to care for your well-being. You got to care for your health. Health is so important. What we put into our body makes a difference. And if you're anything like me, then you don't want to spend a lot of extra money or time doing that. That's why I use Thrive Market. I've been using them for about a year now. They just ship to me right to my house all the vitamins, minerals, supplements, protein powder, healthy snacks, skin products, even toothpaste and vitamins for my little girls. You can go to nickmazy.com/thrive and check it out. See if they can help you at all to be able to care for your well-being, care for your health, so that you can enjoy life too. I was able to save enough money over Amazon that first order to pay for the membership. Plus, they're always giving away free products to try. I love it. Once again, that's nickmazy.com/thrive. That's my affiliate link. Check it out. See if the products will help you to be able to care for your well-being so that you can enjoy life.